All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Lang Trading Chat Room. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend. Ready to rock and roll and get back at it again today. It is May 8th, 2023. So, start of the week. We're going to have a good week. Looking like the markets might be just a little bit bullish this week. We break out on the cues here. We got some room to run higher. So, as always, if you're new, it's going to go something like this. I'm going to start off and I'm going to review the market bias, take a look at the SPY and the QQQ, determine which way we think these markets are going to head today. After that, I will review the gap list on the right-hand side of the screen right here. We got the long ideas in green, short ideas in red. We will be day trading these, so this is a day trading chat room, so that's what the goal is here. So as always, you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you are throwing that up in the chat log. It's not going to type itself, so make sure you guys are doing that. As always, just practice that proper money management. Make sure you have a trading plan and you follow that trading plan. It's the best way to get rich is to do it consistently and over a long period of time. So make sure you guys are trading the right way. You're not trying to get rich quick. All right. So with that, let's get into the market, guys. So pretty flat open. SPY and Qs, both SPY gapping up a little bit, Qs gapping down just a little bit. So slight divergence in the market, but basically just a flat open. I am leaning towards the bullish side today, guys. Leaning towards the bullish bias. We had a nice big green day on Friday, pushed the markets up. So SPY is not as bullish. We still have some junk up here in the 416, 417 area. But the Qs are looking pretty bullish, man. We get over this 324 resistance right here. And I mean, you can see on the daily chart, there's really nothing holding us back all the way up to like 334, 35. So we get over that area on the Qs. I'm expecting a little bit of a bullish run here for the next couple of days or something. So not definitely. It could be a choppy inside day, but leaning towards the bullish side at the moment. We do have some nice gaps on this list today. So first up with the snow gapping up over this topping tail red bar from Friday into a pretty nice void. So this thing's been in a bit of a downtrend. You can see on the hourly chart trend line. So finally maybe getting over that trend line. Maybe we break out, get a run up to this little gap fill area in like the 164, 165 spot. So keep an eye on the snow. Looks pretty good higher, doing some good volume in the pre-market. So one of the top ideas on the list today. Next up, we have Airbnb. So Airbnb's gapping up over a nice little consolidation here. Should have room at least up to this pivot at like 126. Next area of resistance after that's going to be in the 130 area. You can see on this daily chart right here. A couple little pivots right up here. So be mindful of that. But all in all, is a pretty nice gapping up. Not quite on earnings. Earnings are tomorrow for this thing, but still gapping up near earnings. So keep an eye on that one. I really like it over 126, but I would take it under that area. So watch the Airbnb early. Next up, we have SPB. This is, I don't trade this much. Spectrum Brands Holdings. So it is up two pretty good sized green days in a row. You look at the hourly chart, it's not as extended. It kind of moved up early, chopped around. So not as big of an issue with the extension there, but still is up two green days in a row, gapping up over multiple pivots into a nice void. This one really doesn't have a whole lot holding it back. I mean, this thing could very easily see $80 today, even 84. I know the range doesn't really give it that much room, but we'll keep an eye on this thing for a nice little move higher up to that like 80, 78, maybe dollar area. So keep an eye on the SPB. Next up, we have TSN, so Tyson Foods. This is actually a really nice gap down, guys. Gapping down about 10 to 11% under this little double bottom right here into a big void. So there's, I mean, shit, it's got room down to $43, $44. Again, not a whole lot of range. Only does about $1.15 a day, but definitely keep an eye out for this Tyson Foods TSN short. I mean, yeah, like I said, really nice. It's all gapping down on earnings, so this could have a nice move lower today. So top idea on the short side is that TSN there. Next up, we have CTLT. So this is actually another really nice gap down. My concern with this one is it's a 25% gap. So that's a little bit of a wide gap. If this thing was gapping to like $39, $40, I would like it a whole lot more. But gapping down that 25% range, it's a little bit of an extended gap. So we might get some buying uh, off the open here. So be mindful of that. But nonetheless, it is gapping in a good area. So we'll watch it short, but not my favorite idea just because it is a wide range gap. Next up, we have Facebook. So Facebook's gapping down just a little bit here. I'm really trying to just to trade this down really to the gap fill in that 222 area. As you can see on this hourly chart, we get under this pivot at like 230. Should have a little bit of room down to that 222 spot. So keep an eye on the Meta short. This is one of the stronger stocks in the market recently, so be mindful of that. But if the market ends up being weak and kind of chopping around there, then we can watch Meta under that 230 spot. So, how you doing, Casey? How are you doing, my man? Yeah, I'll check that out in just a sec. Actually, I guess I'll check it out right now because I'm looking at Tesla. So, first off, Tesla's gapping up. Not a ton of room. It's going to have has room to this like 177 area. So, a little bit of room to play with on the Tesla. See on this hourly chart, room up to that spot. So, it's kind of in a tight range. So, not going to a little bit of a hard target in that 176, 177 area. I don't see it going over 180 without. So I'm gonna keep going through this list. Casey, I'll look at that Tesla in just a second, Casey. I'm gonna finish this list up real fast, get this done with, and then I'll check out that trade for you. So next up we have Six Flags. So six gapping up pretty nicely right into this resistance area. If it gets over that 27.15, I like it quite a bit. A little bit of a wide range gap at 21%, but nonetheless a nice spot. So we'll watch it over that 27.15 resistance. Next up, IONQ. So gapping up, another one, not a ton of range, maybe room to this like 650 area, but worth watching just because it is gapping up, doing pretty good volume in the pre-market. So watch it up to that 640 area. And last but not least, we have AAL. So this one has quite a bit of jump to the left, guys. We're right at the 50 and the 200, right at some pivots in this 1475 area. So I would really like it if it got over 1480. Once it does that, it will have a range concern. So this is kind of more of a backup idea on the AAL. But if it is strong, if it does get it going, I'll look at it over like 1450 potentially. So that is the list. Let's see what we got popping here. Snow moving up, Airbnb moving up. All right. I'm gonna look at this Tesla for you real fast, Casey. Going long on Tesla, getting in at 171, so right about here. Stop loss at 160. A little bit tight on the stop loss. Target of 188. Yeah, so you got quite a bit of junk to deal with, and Tesla's kind of been in a downtrend lately, so it might be tough to get over this resistance in that 176, 180 area. So I mean, it's a little bit of a tougher long trade. A little bit of a downtrend here, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So a little bit aggressive there, but I mean, you know what you're doing. You got your stop loss in. Stop loss is in a little bit of a tight spot, but I would be more comfortable getting in under 160, like a 158, 159 stop. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of resistance before you're at a full target there on the Tesla. But not bad. All right, let's see what this list is up to here. So Snow's moving up nicely. Airbnb's moving up pretty well also. So guys, Airbnb's one I actually want to keep my eyes on. This thing just ripped right up through resistance. So Airbnb over high of the day is a really good idea right now. SPB's pulling in here. Tyson's already down quite a bit. CTLT's kind of bouncing. Facebook is moving up. Tesla's moving down. Six Flags it's a little bit of a range concern on that one as well. Be careful there. IONQ chopping around. American Airlines actually looks pretty good. we can keep an eye on this American Airlines. Maybe if we could get a target at like 1475, that wouldn't be a bad idea. We'll keep an eye on the AAL. I'm watching AAL. I like Airbnb. I like Snow. These are all moving higher at the moment. So markets are actually moving lower. SPY's lower and Qs are kind of chopping around, grinding lower a little bit. So this very well could be an inside day on the SPY and the Qs also. Bit of a not a wide range day on Friday, but a decent sized day. So we do have resistance in the 414, a little bit of support in that 410, 409 area. So like I said, this could be an inside day, guys. We don't have any news that's going to shake up the market, so we should be good on that front. But yeah, we are on an inside day, so be mindful of that. You guys know how inside days go. Usually a little bit less direction, a little bit less follow through. So be mindful of those things. All right, guys, give me 1 second right here. All right, we are back. Sorry about that. Guys, I'm still watching Snow, still watching Airbnb. Yeah, Snow's my top watch. If I get a little bit of a more consolidation right here on the Snow, I will be looking to get a trade on this one over high of the day. Okay, we got the 5-minute 3-bar play forming. We got the breakout on the 1-minute forming. Keep an eye on the Snow. Casey, I will look at that trade in just a second. I want to keep my eyes peeled on some of these longs right now. Airbnb is looking really good as well. So watch this one over high of the day. Watching Snow over high of the day. You could argue the buy setup on Airbnb. Probably not a terrible idea. So Snow's pulling in pretty good. Airbnb's setting up all right. What else were we looking at? Tesla's doing not much. Six range is a concern on Six Flags, guys. Still keep an eye on AAL here as well. AAL is not looking too bad. I'm watching AAL, Snow, and Airbnb. My top 3 watches. Markets are still pretty choppy here. Still pretty choppy. Qs are pulling in a little bit more, showing some weakness. Snow is pulling in almost back to the low of the day, so won't hesitate with that. We'll see if it can engulf itself and get back up to that high. Yeah, Airbnb's looking pretty good, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Get in with come on now, $1.50 on the stop loss potentially. Really don't need a whole lot out of that thing. Right at the resistance area here. Where is that at exactly? It's right at that resistance. So I think a high of the day pattern would probably be a lot safer on Airbnb. $1.50 doesn't have as much range there, but market's kind of bouncing. You know what, guys? I'm gonna go ahead and get an order ready on this Airbnb. $1.50 stop loss. 125.75. 125.75 by $1.50. 124.25. All right. So we need $1.50. There we go. 127.25. I'm looking at this Airbnb getting in over 125.75. Markets are still chopping around a little bit. SPY and Q's going lower. I'm not rushing into this thing, not at all. So I'm gonna get a little bit of rain here. All right. Could go a little bit tighter with like a dollar stop loss if you wanted. I'm gonna give it a little bit of room here. So we're gonna need what was that? Oops, another 89 cents out of this. So yeah, it definitely has the range to do that. If it breaks down any lower right here, I'm not gonna be in it, obviously. But yeah, so hold off on the Airbnb. It's looking a little bit lower. Markets are looking lower. Q's actually putting in a big wide range red bar. Wide range red bar on the Q's, so no need to rush in anything. Tyson's putting a little bit of a sell setup here. Not a bad sell setup. CTLT is kind of grinding lower. You can watch this thing under this 34.50 area, actually. Watch CTLT under 34.50. Facebook's moving up. Tesla's kind of lower. Six Flags is mid. This AAL is another pretty interesting idea as well. And snow really just kind of rolled over real weak. So not much to do with the snow right here. Snow's not bad. The CTLT, like I said, this is, I guess it just kind of peekaboo down there. So yeah. There's no need to rush into these things, guys. We're only 10 minutes into the day. Only 10 minutes into the day. It's Monday, so what you do not want to do is be guns a-blazing on Monday and go get yourself into a hole you have to dig out of all week. That's not what you want to do. So just stay patient. Let the trades come to you. They will. They always do. If they don't, then you don't want to be in them, you know? So just relax. Let the trades work out. Let the market do its thing. I mean, this SPB is weak. So I'm actually going to stop watching that. I did not look at SPB, Casey. I will do that actually right now. Let me get AAL on a thumbnail watch list so I can keep my eye on that one. I don't think I had anything else really worthwhile. All right, yep. So what was UAL doing? One second. UAL is looking pretty good as well. I'll put that on my list. Let me check out the old MA for you, brother. Not bad. Long entry, 385. Stop loss at 366. You're getting in right up here. Pretty wide stop, pretty safe stop, 366. Nice. Target of 421. So this is breaking out. You're probably gonna have some trouble at this $400 mark. You see, this is a double top up here. $400 is just a whole number. You always seem to struggle a little bit more there. Stocks do. So 420 might be a little bit extended, but you do have a pretty wide stop on that thing. So it should be all right. But yeah, if you get over 390, should be okay. It might just chop around. I mean, you're probably gonna be in that one for a little while. I mean, it's a $20 stop loss, so you might be in it for a little while. But other than that $400 resistance area, it looks pretty good. It is trending in the right direction as well. So yeah, pretty solid trade. You got a safe stop here under that. I guess it's not under the bottoming tail. It's basically under that big pivot. So yeah, not a bad spot on the MA. Visa doing. That's stronger than Visa as well. So that's good. Good stuff there. And AAL still looks pretty good, actually. AAL over this, over high of the day, basically. All right. So watching some AAL, watching the snow really gave it up, so not a big fan of that one. Airbnb is kind of moving quite a bit lower as well, so that's going to need to be a high of the day play. SPB is weak. Tyson, I mean, it was an aggressive sell setup, but you could have snagged it, got it. CTLT is just chopping around. Meta is same thing. So AAL is probably the best thing out right now. It looks like the strongest stock on my list is this American Airlines. Like I said, UAL's not a bad one either. Should have pretty easy room up to that 46.30 area. So watch that. All the airlines doing good today. JetBlue doing all right. Spirit struggling. Delta last one. DAL doing all right. So yeah, UAL and AAL definitely the leaders in that sector. So would not mind getting a position on this AA. Either one of them actually. They both look pretty solid. So yeah, keep your eye out for the airline sector higher. Markets are pretty choppy still at the moment. SPY's really just chopping around here. Qs have been pretty weak all morning. So looking like an inside day at the moment. Looking like a bit of an inside day. We'll see how the market does by the SPY right here. If we get below this 412.50, we got some more room to drop here. I guess this pivot's really in the 412 area, so yeah, just a really choppy morning so far. Pretty tight range, only 15 minutes into the day, so we do have time. No need to rush anything here. No need to rush. That is 15 minutes though, so taking off the 1 minute chart, switching to that 5 minute. SPY looks like it's breaking down here almost. SPY looks like it's breaking down. Not much from the long list looking too hot, honestly. My first three ideas, Snow, Airbnb, and STB, are all pretty much junk. My short ideas are almost in the same boat. Almost in the same junk boat. Man. Yeah, really just watching this airline sector at the moment. AAL and UAL. Those are my top watches. Don't see a whole lot else. Check out FTNT. Your old KT here. Getting in at 64.84, so getting in right up here. So I guess you got in. Yeah, okay. And then stop loss at 63. Oh, that's a tight stop. It's just like a daily. 65, basically. Stop loss at 63. It's a little bit of a tight stop here, but it looks like you're doing like a day trade almost. Target at 67.50. So this next area of resistance, kind of not a bad trade. I see what you're looking at. A big wide range green move up, breaking multiple pivots. Nice clean consolidation. Now it's breaking out again. So the hourly chart doesn't look too bad, but you do have some jump to the left. You're not in that clear void. So not a bad idea. Definitely a strong stock. So looking for that follow through move. Yeah, what is this sector? Electronic tech. Yeah. So if the Nasdaq breaks out over 324, we're gonna get some bullish moves in quite a few stocks. I think looking like some good swing trade setups here over the weekend, from what I saw. So honestly, if we had a consolidation day and just really chopped around, had an inside day on the Qs, that would be kind of expected. Wide range move up, consolidation day, and then get that breakout. So getting the breakout today would be a little bit extended. Wouldn't be surprised if we just chopped around. Would not be super surprised. Yeah, SPY is breaking down pretty well right here. So moving lower there. And don't see a whole lot, guys. Like I said, watching the airline sector, this AAL, yeah, it's still got pretty good range. Still should have room up to at least 1480 area. So keep an eye on that one. UAL, same sort of thing. Actually, UAL is pulling in quite a bit more, so showing a little bit of weakness there. Check some of my other ideas, man. My list is struggling a little bit. So guys, we can watch SoFi over high today, so keep an eye on that one. McRib looks terrible. PayPal, ugly. Crowd. We can watch crowd, the CRWD. Watch CRWD. Plug is weak. ZS is not my favorite idea. This EL pulled in pretty good. So, yeah, we can watch the crowd and SoFi. I'm going to add those to my list over here. Check out this Riot looking a little bit weak as well. So, still has quite a bit of support though. So, I'm gonna hold off on that. So, yeah, we can watch this SoFi over high today. SoFi should have room up to that gap fill at like 545, 547. So, give this thing an 8 to 10 cent stop. You can also go low today by high today and still have room. Still have that room. So, watch SoFi. Watch the SoFi. And then crowd CRWD is another one we can keep our eyes on. I don't like this one as much. Coming up into a little bit of resistance up here, but if it gives us a great pattern, I will consider it because it does have some range left. It is doing pretty solid volume, so we can watch the CRWD. We can watch that. I think SoFi is my top idea at the moment, though. Probably would be a low of the day by high, or high of the day by low of the day. My bad. We had some other banking stocks gapping up this morning as well, so looks like most of them are pulling in right here. Yeah, getting some pullbacks in the finance sector. Yeah, so just hanging out, guys. Like I said, sometimes the best way to make money is just to not lose it. So if you don't see anything that meets your criteria, just don't trade. It's one of the hardest parts about being a trader is being disciplined and knowing whenever the environment is giving and whenever the environment is taking. If you're in an environment that's just going to take your money, why the hell would you trade? But never fails. People still do it. People still do it because they feel if they're not trading, they're not making money. But sometimes just sitting on your hands is a profitable strategy. So I'm going to watch crowd over this pivot right here. It's right there, right at it, 128.50 basically. So get a pattern up in this area. Watch it. Watch it. Airbnb pulled in quite a bit, man. That resistance held solid. That 126 area slapped it right back down. As Meta's looking pretty weak actually right here. Rolled all the way over back to low of the day. So if we get a pattern right under that 230 area, we can watch Meta lower. Keep an eye on that. Why is the AAL still looking pretty strong? Looking like the strongest thing in the markets right now. AAL. All right. AAL and UAL too, man. UAL just had a big pop, breaking out over high. So this is not a buy setup. This is first glance you might think it's a buy setup, but it is not. That is one lower low. So not really a buyable spot for UAL. Definitely can watch this thing though. It has a little bit more room to go. So yeah, top watches right now is the UAL, AAL, and SoFi. Those are my top watches at the moment. And AAL is getting a little bit interesting over this 1456 spot, guys. Oops, I need VWAP on here. 1456 by, I give it a little bit of room, 18 cent stop, so 1438. Still got plenty of range left. You're gonna need about 20 cents, so right at that resistance. Guys, I'm keeping a very close eye on AAL. This thing, I don't want it to trigger right here, but if it gives me another minute or two, I will be getting in over high of the day. So watch AAL for a trade over high of the day. Need another minute or so on this. Like I said, I do not want it to break out right here. I'm watching this 1 minute chart in this bottom left. I want to see just like give me one more bar consolidation just to really seal the deal. So yeah, buyers are definitely there. All right. UAL is popping pretty good, guys. Markets are still moving a little bit lower, so showing quite a bit of relative strength on this the airline sector. So I do like that quite a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and get this order ready. It might not give it to me. Might trigger before it's ready, but nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and have my order ready to go. There we go. Give this thing a little bit of room. All right, guys. I am gonna go ahead and get this order in there on AAL. 1456 by 1438. 10-cent stop loss. That was right, wasn't it? Okay, yeah, I had it right. All right. Yeah, so AAL, guys. 1456 by 1438. We just got in there. Just got triggered in on the AAL. So in there like swimwear. Where we at here? So I'm going to go ahead and immediately raise my stop from 18 cents to 50. Let me check this 1 minute chart. I'm going to go ahead and raise it 3 cents to 41. Give myself a little bit of protection there. So instead of the full 18-cent stop loss. Okay, so we got a little bit of protection there on the AAL early. So we are in that one. SPY is still hanging out, trying to find a bottom here on the SPY. So we move down a little bit, trying to bounce at this 412 area. That's some moving average support. So a bounce would definitely be nice for the long trade that we are in. So hopefully we get that. UALs, man, this thing's going beast mode. Looking good. Looking good. So hopefully that drags up the AAL with it. Again, guys, I do like this trade. I do like the trade into a nice, not a super big void, but we got room up to target, that's for sure. Got room over this pivot right here, so get up to that 1475 area. Should be all right. Still watching the SoFi as well. I do like SoFi higher. Don't like anything from my short list, honestly. Short side's looking very mediocre. The SoFi is looking pretty interesting, guys. Probably get in. I would probably give it a 10-cent stop just so I can raise it early. Even give it. You could go 12-cent stop if you lower the day by or high the day by low the day if you really wanted it on the SoFi. Yeah, so this is probably my top watch at the moment is SoFi. Like I said, I'm really not a fan of any of my short ideas. They're all kind of chopping around. So not much on the short side. Long, snow's not looking great. Airbnb is, okay. If Airbnb gets back up to the high of the day, I will consider it for a pattern. But right here on this little buy setup, not for me. So SPPs not looking good. There's the short ideas that we talked about. Tesla needs a lot of work. Six Flags is basically done. IonQ, AAL's doing a decent job so far. Some decent little pop off the open. UAL's ripping. Then we have SoFi and Crowd. So the Crowd just kind of keeps moving up. Not a whole lot of rest on it. Not a lot of great patterns or entries. So, and I really don't love the daily on this either. Running into, or the hourly, I mean, running up into some moving averages and such. So, yeah, really just watching the SoFi right now. Really just got my eyes on the SoFi. 530. I'd probably go 520. Well, let me see this right here. Yeah, 540, 45 is like the line in the sand. So you do have some moving average resistance, a little bit of trend line issues. So it's not in a clear void on SoFi, but still gonna keep my eye on it. Because AAL is doing a good job so far. Off to a good start on that one. So it was an 18-cent stop. So I might go ahead and raise my stop loss to like 13 cents. Giving a little bit more right in that area where I like my stop losses to be. So I'm going to go ahead and raise it to 43. 14.43. Stop raised on AAL. Stop raised AAL 14.3 or 14.43. SoFi still looking all right. And not super great though. I need this thing to come up here to 530 and like settle down for a little bit. I'm not gonna get it if it just rips up here and breaks out. Not for me. But if it gets up to the high of the day and chops around, then I'll look at it. Man, it feels like it's been a long morning. Whew. Feels like it should be 11 o'clock. It's only 10 o'clock. Still got like another half hour with you guys, man. Sheesh. What am I gonna do? What are we gonna talk about? The stocks are looking all right. Nothing great other than SoFi. Let me check how the swing trades are doing here. My boy Ollie looking decent. Dollar Tree kind of hanging out. PTCT, same thing. Microsoft, same thing. MDB triggered me in today and kind of chopping around. The VNT, I wonder if that triggered me in. My order was at 28. I wonder if it filled me there. We'll see. So swing trade's looking okay. Nothing special, nothing great, but looking all right. Guys, give me 1 second here. 1 second. We are back. We are back, baby. Let's see. Oh, AAL is doing a real nice job. Good stuff on AAL. So we need off to a real good start. We need just a little bit more out of this. Not a super wide stop loss on the AAL. So we have 18 cents. So we're up about 9. So up half an hour on the AAL. Guys, SoFi as well. Watch SoFi for a breakout. Look at it right here. I do not want it to trigger right here. I repeat, do not want it to trigger. I need it to chop around for at least, okay. It's not going to do that. So there goes the SoFi. Moving on up. I'll still watch this thing for a pattern, but as a breakout, I just needed a little bit more consolidation. I don't need it to rip higher and just keep going like that. So maybe we'll watch this thing for a buy setup or something. But SoFi is moving on up. Market's kind of moving up too. Found that support at 412, bouncing off that area. So we'll watch that. See what the markets are up to. VIX is just chopping around, hanging out, watching the Qs. The IWM is having a pretty down day. Same with all markets actually. Everything's having a pretty not pretty bearish. It's just a little bit of a pullback day, a little minor red day. So we'll see how much we chop around or if we go lower. This could, like I said, this could be an inside day. I was leaning a lot more bullish in the pre-market. Now that we are over 30 minutes into the day, I'm kind of shifting my bias towards an inside day. So, like I said before, it's always a little more difficult to trade on an inside day. Just not getting as much direction on stuff. AAL has done a pretty good job so far. So looking good there. The UAL is going off as well. So yeah, all the airlines moving up here a little bit. I'm not liking a whole lot other than the SoFi. And it's going to need to give me a pretty nice pattern up here. So, like I said, these inside days, man, they make it a little bit tougher to trade. They definitely do. If you guys got any open positions, swing trades, day trades, investments, court, whatever it is, throw it up in the chat log. We'll take a look right at it. Let's see. SoFi is really doing a good job. Really did that pop right there. I guess it's not. It's only 4-cent pop, so nothing super great, but still not bad. Still not too bad. Like I said, I really don't see much. I'm checking my backup list here and stuff. There's just not a whole lot to do. It's a inside day. It's a Monday. Oh, it's ZS. That's a pretty big range concern, so not a huge fan of that one. Not a huge fan of that. The snow really rolled over. Thought we'd get a little more of a bullish move out of that thing. Airbnb still chopping around. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging out. Woo, excuse me. Man, it's a Monday for sure. Oh man, the weekends really do make you lazy, don't they? That's why everybody hates Mondays. You're getting all lazy on the weekend, start sleeping in a little bit. And damn, Monday hits and you're like, oh shit. Whew, gotta get back in the grind. So we got AAL pulling in a little bit right here. Pulling in just a bit. I won't be concerned until we get under the 1450, really the VWAP area. So if we break under that and close, then we might be in for it. But until that happens, I think we should be all right. Should be a-okay. Did run up into a little bit of junk. This is where the resistance kind of starts in this 1460, 1470 area. So this trade would have been a lot better if it was happening over 1475, but it wasn't doing that. That's where the area we're trying to trade it up to. So yeah, hopefully we get a little buy set up pivot right here. Maybe even a chance to add and reduce. We might get a chance to add and reduce on the AAL. So keep that in mind. Guys, the SoFi is still looking decent too. The 1 minute's looking really interesting. It just broke out of that area. So maybe not. Again, probably buy setup is going to be the best option on this or SoFi. I mean, buy setup is probably going to be the best option, but even that is going to be a little bit sketchy just because you do have the resistance above, some moving average resistance, got some pivots up here in that 545 area, so it might be a little bit tough taking that buy setup, but we'll keep an eye on it nonetheless. Keep an eye on it. And AAL is pulling in pretty good right here, so Don't want to see it go too much lower. It's right at VWAP right now, so we'll see if this thing can't give us a little bit of a bounce here. Markets are just kind of chopping around too, so. Oh man. Man, it's been a solid start to the month though. It's been a pretty good year. Let's see. Almost, what is this? May, so we got 2/3 of the year left. Oh yeah. It's a whole lot of trading. A whole lot of trading, man. Like a couple hundred more trades. I think I've taken, how many trades have I taken this year? Let's see. Taken 132 trades. Honestly, I think that's a little bit lower than what I usually like to do. I'm trying to get about 400 trades, 4 to 450. I guess that's pretty accurate. Right at 130, 133 trades. So, quite a lot of trades, man. Makes it fun though. Gotta stay active. We got any active day traders in the stream right now? Anybody buying and selling in the same day? Got some scalpers. See, I'm kind of a scalper. I don't know. I'm a little bit in between on the scalping because I do go for the 1 hour targets, so that is like a scalp bias. But I am usually in my trades for a little while. I like to give my trades a little bit more room on the stop loss, and really, the longer I'm in a trade, the better chance it has of working. So I kind of try to. I mean, I'm a little bit of a mix of a scalp with a higher target, but I don't know. It's, you know, it's the strategy that I found that works for me. Scalping, getting those quick pops, that doesn't work for me. But getting those real large targets where you're in trades for a while, or you just have to be, you really have to get a big move, that didn't work for me either. So I was like, I found out that scalping, just getting those 1 hour targets, but just giving them a little bit more room and not taking full losses. That's where I feel comfortable with my strategy. So it took a little while to find the two guys. That's what trading's all about. You're not going to come in and just, I mean, maybe you get lucky and you find a strategy that speaks to you first time, but for most people, you're going to have to fiddle around with a couple of strategies before you find the one that actually speaks to you, that you can actually perform consistently, because that's what it's all about. If you got like 1 month of profitable trading, well, I mean, you only have 1 month of profitable trading. You know, if you want to be a professional trader, you got to swing together consistent months, consistent profits. So, getting that consistency, getting that discipline is what it's all about. And so things are getting a little bit choppier here. My list is looking a little bit worse, honestly. We can still watch this Facebook under 230. It's probably one of the better ideas at the moment. Facebook under 230. It looks like we're about to get tagged on the AAL any second now. Yeah, so got tagged on AAL. Man, that's off to a real good start. I really don't have a problem with this trade at all. So I really don't have a problem with this trade. Nice breakout over high of the day. But the biggest issue was it wasn't in a clear void. That was the biggest concern. That this still was under these pivots, and that ended up being what gets us. Ran up there, pulled on back. So trailed out of the AAL. The original stop was 18 cents, so hasn't triggered or hit the OG stop. So it might have just peekabooed us out there. We'll see, but nonetheless, like I said, not a bad trade. Markets are going lower here, so that did not help us out either. Another move lower on the SPY and Qs. And not much to do right here, guys. It's been a very inside day-esque. It's choppy. Whole list is pretty mediocre. Still watching the SoFi. a little bit, but again, this one's getting into that area where you gotta start being a little bit concerned about the resistance up here. So it's not in the clear void. So be mindful of that. Maybe you get a little buy setup, pull back to that 530 area, give it a 10 to 20 cent stop loss. That's worth considering, but yeah, be mindful. This is a choppy inside day, so you're going to need to get some strength out of whatever you're trading. And AAL really just peekaboo us out right there. And this thing really just tag us out, man. I mean, it's been a game of pennies lately. I'll tell you what, dude. Last week I had, what was it? Oh yeah, it was AMC. It was an AMC trade, man. It went all the way to my target, hit my target, literally hit my target, did not fill me, and then pulled back and tagged me at break even. It didn't tag me at break even by like a penny or two, and then after it tagged me, then it went right back up and hit target. It's like, God, son of a gun, dude. It's tough. It's been a game of pennies lately. Just very small moves, just barely tag you out. And, but you know what? That's trading sometimes. It's like, that's trading sometimes, man. It's UAL still. UAL actually is not a bad trade idea, guys. UAL is not a bad trade idea. I'm pretty hesitant about getting this buy set up right here. 46 by like, I would probably give it at least 20 to 40 cents. Keep an eye on that A or UAL. It is a little bit interesting. I'm not gonna lie. UAL buy setup. I really, really wish it was not under that resistance. You could give it a very tight stop and get out before high of the day, but again, you're just. I feel like you're risking a full stop out if you do that. Let's see. I mean, that resistance is right there. 46.30. That's a solid area of resistance. It does have the range. So, I mean, if it got over high of the day, that would be. I would really prefer that, honestly, over high of the day. Yeah, this buy setup is. I mean, it has its issues. It has issues, guys. Mainly the resistance at 46.30. That's the main issue that I'm worried about. And the market's going lower as well, I suppose. So right now, markets are not looking too strong. Not looking super strong. Spine, Qs, both pulling back still. They do have some support. I mean, all of that Friday's move really has support. So I don't know. Looking like it just looks like an inside choppy day, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's not looking like we have a whole lot of direction. This is why inside days are harder to trade because you're like, well, yeah, the 5 minute looks lower. Then you look at the 15 and the hourly, and you're like, well, it does have support all the way below. It has resistance above. Like, there's really not a lot of room for this thing to go. So, not a lot of room for it. Man, SoFi is just absolute beast mode. Look at it. All the way up to 543, all the way to that resistance area. What's the crowd doing? Nothing. No, I need to put this UA on the in my trading rule test because I'm just going back and forth about it. I need to know for sure. The macros look good. It does have resistance. Not extended without support. Micros looking good. VWAP good. Higher time frame bias. Lower time frame. Yes. Gap. To a bit of a void. Range, yeah. Stronger than the market. Is it time to hit the market though? I'll do one of those. So I'm going through my list right now, guys. I'm going through my whole checklist. viewing everything. Seeing if this trade passes my trade criteria. Looks like it does. Even with the resistance and the trend of the market, it looks like it's just going to get in there. So I'm going to go ahead and look for an order on this. The UAL 45.98. It's going like right here, isn't it? Probably give it 50-cent stop loss. 52, 45, 46. I'm going to have to use a limit order on this, guys. I'm going to have to use a limit order. Trying to get 46.50 out of it. It's triggering right here, so I'm going to have to use the limit order, like I said. So I'll put it in there. We'll see if it gets filled or not. I'm not going to give this a whole lot of room. See, orders in there on the UAL. Orders in there. Like I said, this thing, I'm trying to get in with the limit order because I was a little bit late on the entry. I was trying to put it through my trading rule test. I was back and forth about it, and that's where you don't want to be. You don't want to be back and forth iffy. Like I have a trading rule test. If it meets a certain criteria, then I take the trade. End of story. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to be subjective, making decisions on the whim. You want to make sure your decisions are objective, they are consistent, and there's no wavering. You don't want to get in. All right, guys. So we are in the UAL. We are in UAL. It is a, what was this, 52-cent stop loss. I probably will raise this pretty quickly to the 40-cent stop loss right there. Give this thing a little bit of room. Wait, where is it at? I got in at 46.98. Yeah, so raise it up just under that 44.50 area. All right. So 44.56. Okay. So yeah, now instead of the 52-cent stop loss, we're working with a 42-cent stop loss. So it should be right around that 0.8R risk. Yep, 0.81R risk on the UAL. So trigger us in, pulling back a little bit here, but no real worries yet. If we get under VWAP in this 45.80 area, it might be a little bit concerning. But until that happens, feeling all right about it. It's showing really good relative strength, actually, considering what the market's been doing. Let's take a look here. You can see SPY's been moving lower lows, lower highs. This thing's been doing the exact opposite. So if we get a little bit of strength on the SPY or the Qs, it should help out the UAL pretty nice. And I mean, so we're kind of in an area where we could bounce. Like I said, guys, this is an inside day, so it's like really there's anywhere in this range where you could find some support and bounce. So we'll see if we can't get it. Qs are looking higher as well right now. Qs look like they want to try to break out over this VWAP. We're struggling to get over it, but if we do get a nice move over the VWAP, it should help out the UAL quite a bit. The snow is pretty weak. Airbnb. All right, so not seeing much. You can still watch the Facebook lower. I really wanted to get down to 230 though. I don't like getting it over that whole number on Facebook. Otherwise, I don't see much else. Guys, AAL still did not actually hit the original stop. Original stop was at 1438, so it's been holding that like a rock star. Holding that area like a rock star. UAL pulling a little bit here. SoFi hanging out. Crowd not looking great. So yeah, not much to do right here, guys. Just the one trade on UAL is open. Oh, I didn't even type this in. My bad. UAL. What was it? 1450, 1498, 4598 by 4546. There we go. Typed it in for you. A little bit late there, but you still got a chance to get it. Still got a good chance to get that UAL. Like I said, guys, my main concern on this is it's underneath this pivot at 4630. Primary issue is that it's underneath that pivot at 4630. So it's like it was right there, man. It was right there on the cusp of being a trade I do take and being a trade I don't take. It was like right there. I said, you know what? We're gonna send it. I think this market could bounce. It is an inside day, so I mean, it wouldn't have hurt me to not send it, but you know what? Like I said, it was right there on the cusp of my trading plan, so it met the criteria. So that was kind of a game. When it's that close, when it's like right at the verge of passing the test and not passing the test, it does come down to a little bit of subjective decision making. And well, obviously, I decided to take it. I decided it was good enough. I decided the odds were good enough in my favor. So that's what it comes down to, guys. We're odds-based traders. That's what it is. That's what we're doing. We're doing everything we can to stack the odds in our favor best we can. Markets are still trying to bounce right here. So this has been one hell of an inside day, man. Look at the range on SPY and Qs. $1.37 on the SPY. Just real choppy. Qs are even tighter, $1.18. So, oh man. UAL's pulling a little bit here. Not exactly what you want to see. But like I said, we got a little bit of protection already, so it wouldn't be a full loss even if it does tag us out. Even if it does tag out, it's not a full loss. So that would put us at 7. What was it? What was it again? I have it right here. 0.8 plus 0.7. So that'd be about an hour and a half down. If this thing tagged us out, we'd be down about an hour and a half, which really is not the end of the world. Not the greatest way to start the week, but really not a bad start. You don't want to be down more than a couple, especially with my strategy. It's like being down in an hour and a half is not a huge deal at all. That's a couple trades, a couple good ones. So, yeah, all we need is a little bounce in the market, so I think we could get there. Struggling to do that at the moment. Qs really cannot get over VWAP. Look at that. You know, it's struggling right there at 322. Just keeps putting in a little bit of a topping tail and sellers step up. Puts in the tail, sellers step up. So, looks like it's gonna be a little bit more weak than we expected here. I really don't see anything for my list, guys. I'm probably done trading for the day. Yeah, really just my top 6 ideas are all pretty much junk. Maybe you can watch Meta under low of the day, but you're gonna need the market to really sell off for that to work. Tesla's junk. Six Flags is junk. IonQ is junk. AAL is junk. So that would have just tagged us for a full stop on AAL. So moving the stop up did help us out there. Well, come on. UAL pulling in a little bit here as well. SoFi was the strongest thing out, but it's done at this point. I'm not trading this into that resistance, and yeah, no, not happening. And then Crowd is chopping around us. I mean, Crowd's probably the best thing out, but I really don't see myself trading this. If it got up to the high of the day and chopped around for a little while, you'd have to give it like a $2 stop. Yeah, you're gonna need a pretty big move out of that. You need 131 here. So, like I said, probably gonna be done trading for the day, just because there's really nothing on my list that looks great. I guess I can check my backup ideas. Maybe you can watch Riot short. It does have some support in that $10 area though, so be mindful of that. I don't see a whole lot else really. Yep, that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. So not the most active day, kind of a quiet, boring. I mean, this is an inside day, guys. This is what an inside day feels like. This is what it looks like. You're not going to get a ton of direction, not going to get a ton of follow through on anything. So, yeah, just make sure you guys aren't guns ablazing, losing 3, 4, 5 R on a day like today. That's what you do not want to be doing. You do not want to take 6 trades and get stopped out on 4 or 5 of them just because you're bored and you had a long weekend and you just come back ready to trade. It's like, no, you want to come back, just follow your plan, do it the right way as always. So sometimes you're going to take a lot of trades. Some days you're not going to take many trades at all. So that's just how it goes. Today we took 2 trades. The AAL, like I said, I don't have any qualms with this one. This was a nice spot, nice, decent little breakout pattern. Had room to run up to that resistance area. Off to a really good start and just kind of rolled over. So not much you can do with that. And then the UAL, still just kind of chopping around. Had a nice little buy setup pattern. It was under resistance. That was the main concern with this one. It was under that resistance area. So that was an issue, but it still passed the test on every other aspect. So took it despite the resistance, and for better or for worse, we're in there. So really not doing too bad of a job just yet. We get back over that $46 area, we should be feeling a lot better. Yeah, 52-cent stop originally. Gonna probably lower it to, if we get back up over this area, I'll tighten it up to that 45.70 area. So it'd be about a half-hour risk if we get that going. So that's all we got on the table right now, guys. If you have any trades, any questions, any comments, concerns, make sure you throw it up in the chat log. I will get right to it. Otherwise, I'll probably call it a day here soon. Probably gonna hop off of here, get going with some journaling and back testing and whatnot. So yeah, just kind of gonna manage the UAL out per my plan. We'll see if we can't get back over that $46 area and run up into that resistance. So really all that we got going on. Whew. As always, I don't know if you guys are in the Discord channel or not yet, but there is a free Discord channel in the link below. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure if you haven't already joined, just a great spot to put your trades at, do some market chat, some office politics, some trade ideas, just a bunch of good stuff in there. So don't hesitate to join that. It is free. You got nothing to lose. So make sure you check out that Discord channel. Otherwise, I don't know. Kind of hanging out. Like I said, I'll probably be getting off here in a couple minutes just because we're not doing really anything. Like I said, I'm not going to be taking any more trades. Nothing from my list looks good at all. So I'm just going to be kind of waiting, hanging out, managing this UAL position here. So that is all we have on the table. And Snow, I'm disappointed with Snow, guys. This was a nice gap. I thought we had something going here. And it just rolled over. Same with Airbnb. This thing started off nice, ripped, just got slapped by that resistance, bro. So absolutely slapped by resistance. Oh man. Yeah, this list really underperformed today, that's for sure. I thought it wasn't a great list. We definitely had better, but it wasn't the worst list. I thought we had some good ideas. thought we had a few nice ideas at least, but man, the inside day ended up overriding everything. That inside day, man, will get you. But no, on a real note, I think, man, this SPY or Qs, I mean, it definitely does look higher, guys. Had this little shakeout right here, right back up, a little pullback to that 316, right back up. Now we're getting this resting day right here, so Tuesday could be a nice little bullish day. I don't think we have any news tomorrow either, so yeah, not really. Ooh, shit. We do have some inflation numbers coming out on Wednesday. Some PPI numbers coming out on Thursday, and then anything on Friday. Not too much on Friday. Maybe some more inflation numbers and consumer sentiment, but a pretty light week on the news for the most part. You don't have any like FOMC meetings or anything big like that that's going to shake up the markets. So should be an all right week of trading here. Man, SPY and Qs both looking weak still. Qs breaking down now. SPY breaking down with a big topping tail. So not great for the UAL, but UAL is showing strength. While the market is both SPY and Qs just put in a nice red bar, this thing is holding solid. So I do like that quite a bit about UAL because I mean, really at any moment these markets could bounce. Any moment you could get a bounce in the SPY or the Qs. Like I said, we are in that inside day. There's different levels all the way throughout. So yeah, that's probably gonna call it for me, guys. Like I said, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes here. I'll stay on for a few more minutes just so if you have any last minute questions or comments, whatever. But I am gonna go ahead and call it a day. It has been decently eventful. We took the 2 trades. Had some good trades from you guys that were reviewed. So and you guys were quiet this morning. Not a lot of activity in the chat log. Everybody a little bit sleepy, a little mopey from the old weekend. You guys go out too late on Saturday night or something? Stay up late last night? Not get enough sleep? It is a Monday. Had a very Monday-esque vibe, so we will come back tomorrow ready to get after it as always. So looks like you guys are good to go. So I will see you back here tomorrow morning, 9:20 Eastern time. We will be back at it. So until then, take care, guys. As always, you have any questions or comments you want, shoot me an email. My email is in the description below. And then, as always, join the Discord as well. It's a free trading Discord. A lot of great resources in there. You can get some one-on-one help with building a trading plan or whatever it is you need help with. So make sure you check out that free Discord channel in the link below and come back and see us again tomorrow. So I'll take care and I'll see you guys here tomorrow morning. So best of luck to you. Have a great day.